Hey there, gang. All right, so I want to start a new series here because I think this will be pretty useful to some of you. Those of you who know me know I've been making music professionally for over 30 years as a musician, songwriter, singer-songwriter, producer, but I'm really into pedals. Yes, I love my guitar pedals, don't we all? But it can become an addiction in itself, and that addiction can be very expensive, right? Right. So I'm starting what I'm calling the Pedal Blog, and I'll put it up at my website in print form, but I'll share it here with you in video form. Episode 1, what's the easiest way to not get trapped into buying too many pedals and chasing a sound? I mean, my bandmate Gary and I, between the two of us, I think we virtually have played every pedal in the world in the last several years, and whatever Gary and I haven't experimented with together and separately, Henry Kaiser and I have exchanged pedals and findings back and forth during that time as well. And Henry is as big a pedal junkie as I am, maybe even more. He's definitely got more than I have because I don't keep everything. So how do we get to the point where we don't get in this endless whirlpool of getting sucked down and spending money trying, I don't know, dozens and dozens of Klon clones and Dumble pedals? All right, let's cut to the chase. Here's what I want you to think about. The easiest way to get to the point where you're happy, to where you feel like you have a sound that you can work with, a basic template from which you can put other building blocks into, find the overdrive that encapsulates your sound best. Whatever's in your head, find that overdrive or overdrives. I think 2 would be plenty. I mean, 2 to 3 would be plenty, but having 2 different flavors of overdrives is probably all you'll ever really need. Really? Okay, so you find your overdrive sound, experiment. Buy from stores that have return policies. There are a ton of stores now that will allow you to buy a pedal. I'll mention 2 that I use, the Sound Parcel in Easton, PA, and Gear Hero in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Both will give you discounts. They have sales. They'll usually give you 15%, free shipping, and no tax. Yes, you have to pay for return shipping within a couple of weeks if you want to return it, but they're really good about taking returns, and those aren't the only 2 stores, but they're really good at taking returns, and you can try every new thing that comes out or things you haven't tried before, and all it costs you is return shipping, and you get a refund. So for $10, you get to try a bunch of stuff. The other option, of course, is buying them used, getting a good deal on them so that you can flip them and not lose more than 10 to 20 bucks per pedal. Sometimes that depends on the specific pedal that you're looking for. And what I would do there is watch pedals. What I mean by that is, so there are going to be pedals that sit for a really long time on reverb, right? Don't buy those pedals because they're going to be really hard to flip if you don't like them. You may really want it, but let's use some common sense here. Okay, so let's say you found your overdrive or your 2 different overdrive flavors. Next, what I want you to do before connecting anything else in that chain is go find your reverb. Overdrive, reverb. Once you get happy with your overdrive bass sounds, including boost and whatever, and your reverb, when you're really truly happy with your reverb and you're happy with the overdrive into that reverb, everything else in the middle will become much, much easier. There are so many different flavors of reverb on the market that, again, you might want to watch a ton of demo videos and really be careful, because sometimes demo videos, as you may know, are treated, meaning that they've been sort of EQ'd, compressed, mastered, limited. It's really hard to tell what will really truly work until you get it in your hands. You can do probably 75% of the work listening to videos and watching and seeing the different options and features and parameters it has, but it's really hard unless you have that exact guitar, that exact amp, that player, and no processing, right? So again, figure out what type of reverb you want, whether it's a plate or a room or, big blooming modulated thing or shimmer, which I hate, but okay. Whatever it is, find out what that is and try a bunch of them, but try them after you've found your overdrive bass sounds. And then try them together. And once you get that synergy going with your overdrive sounds and a reverb, and ideally it would be maybe a multi-effect reverb that has many sounds into it, right? That would probably be the most practical. Once you get that working, then we can talk about adding modulation, other wiggy effects like stuff I use, compression, whatever in between, because that will all be affected by your overdrives and your reverb. And believe it or not, I have found from experimenting, from copious experiments and shit tons of money spent, that stuff in the middle doesn't always work with this. Right? So connecting the dots and connecting the flavors and getting them to talk together well and efficiently is an art into itself, as many of you know, or you wouldn't be watching this, right? Okay, so let's get that bass overdrive, let's get that bass reverb sound. Let's be happy with that. And then we'll talk about fitting all the other stuff in the middle, because that needs to work with that. There's your chain. I hope that's helpful. I'll be back to give you more advice and insights into doing that stage or those stages. And if you have any questions, please post them below. Let me know, and I'll do some videos on whatever your suggestions are in the future. Okay? All right. Happy hunting.